Y'all, hey, it's your girl Sunshine, and today I'm going to be answering a question that my trucker friend girl asked me, and I decided instead of just responding to her, I'll give everybody a response because I get asked all the time, why did you choose an old school truck, and should I, as in you, buy an old school truck in today's time? So one, I want to tell you guys, when it comes to an old school truck, you want to make sure that you have just a natural, in my opinion now, you have a natural desire, like a passion, like the same way that people like guys like those old school Chevys and Impalas and all the old school classic cars. I feel like to drive a like a Freightliner, like classic XL, these long nose trucks, you have to have a love for old school trucks. Because hold on, speaking of old school, my power inverter is buzzing right now because I'm gonna show you guys something very important about these old school trucks. Let me turn my camera around. Okay, so step one, a lot of these old school trucks have AC issues back to back. So this is my portable AC. Don't mind the rest of my truck, y'all, because it's kind of junky today. I have a 4-year-old daughter that's always with me. And you can see it's 91 degrees outside, but I just had it on AC mode, and now I had to switch it on fan mode because the AC tends to have a problem. So this is how I have it hooked up, and it's going up through the top bunk out the window. If you notice, a lot of people who have these old school trucks, they have some sort of portable AC system. Now, even though it's currently hooked to my power inverter system right now, I do have a generator on the back of my truck, which I usually hook it to, but I don't feel like hooking that up right now. So that's step one. Do you want to deal with that? Or these are one of the things that you're gonna have to think about. What are you gonna do? Because these trucks have AC issues all the time. Another thing about old school trucks is they are all not as fancy when you first, depending on which one you get. If it's used, look, you're gonna have stuff like this where it's like not as perfect and comfortable. The cabinets are kind of janky, kind of dangly, so you might have to do some custom work inside of your truck to get comfortable with it. It's going to be a completely different experience from you getting out of a new truck, or just not even a new truck, or like my previous truck, which was the Freightliner Cascadia. It's almost like two different experiences. To keep it, like, to do a comparison, this truck reminds me of a boat. When I had a boat, I had to always wash it down because there was like spider webs and stuff. Like, it's just this is another issue. I ended up having to get my Terminix guy to give me some insect repellent stuff because this truck, I don't know if you have a classic out there, please comment this below because I'm just wondering this, but my truck tends to attract ants, spiders, different things. Like if I'm parked up under a tree or something for a long amount of time, like my truck was parked for like a week before, when I came back, instantly I noticed that there was like ant trails coming through, and I ended up having to get Toro. Just, if you have an old school truck like mine, Classic XL, tell me, have you ever had spider, ants, or any type of issues like that? Like, or am I in this alone? Maybe it's because I have a 4-year-old daughter. Maybe she dropped some sugar or something in here. I don't know, but hopefully I'm not alone because I'm curious. But that's one of the things that I've been experiencing with an old school truck. Next thing you're gonna want to have is a toolbox, because baby, you're gonna need to remember the last 6 digits of your VIN number and have it in your head, because when it comes to these old school trucks, you have to realize that somebody already put the usage into this truck. So when you get it, you are rebuilding and putting back into it. So you're either gonna have to have a toolbox, and I know it's a lot of people say, oh, I'm not mechanically inclined, so I'm just gonna take it to a shop. Oh no, this truck, you're eventually, at some point in time, you will be forced to break out that toolbox and do some of the work yourself. So don't say, oh, I'm getting an old school truck. Shout out to a trucker named Tate. I just saw him on his video where he was installing the starter on his truck. So that shows you, and I'm sure he's not like far from broke or anything, but trust me, these trucks will turn you into a mechanic at any point in time. So if you're gonna buy an old school truck, make sure you buy a toolbox and make sure you get the last 6 of your VIN number imprinted into your head, because you're gonna need it. Now, pros, since I'm talking crap, the good thing about this truck, specifically the Classic XL Freightliner, is that you can access and almost replace things. It's almost like an unscrew, unbolt it, and put it back together type of process. So a lot of things, the engine, when it comes to under the engine, a lot of the things are there for you to access and easy to just unscrew and put back together. And it doesn't have a lot of sensors in it, so it'll be easier for you to do the work yourself and save on money if you wanted to. And also, mechanics cannot charge you high labor per hour fees, because it doesn't take that long to replace anything on here, because the stuff is right there. Versus the new school trucks, a lot of the stuff is all the way behind the engine. Then you have to hook computer systems up to it and clear codes. So that's one of the benefits. Another thing is, these old school trucks, they don't cost as much as the new trucks, so it's easier for you to pay them off really fast and just be able to collect profit as well as expenses, so you don't have to spend that much time paying truck notes and truck payments on your truck. Or you can just outright cash out on a truck, and now you gotta pay for a truck within, versus spending years paying on a truck, going through the roller coasters of trucking, and you might lose the truck or whatever, because trucking is just like that. I've known so many drivers, and I myself has lost so many trucks before. I currently have a light that I have to fix. It's turning inwards, like this is a freight shaker, so everything rattles apart, things go out. But one of the things is, like, I have a natural love for this truck, and I love it. It's like driving an old, like your granddad's car, and you get in it and you gotta manually wind the windows down. It's something, if you do not get a shot of just passion when you get into an old school car and just start maneuvering it, and you don't find anything excited about that, you probably should not get an old school truck, or this will become a complete headache for you, because your truck is going to be in the shop depending on what condition it's in. So you have to look at it as like a hobby slash, a hobby truck slash money maker. So don't get an old school truck if you don't like old things. Like, I love antique things, and there's a red truck, you guys, backing right now, so it's turning my whole face red. Yeah, do not buy an old school truck if you don't like old school things. Also, don't buy an old school truck if all you have is the down payment for the truck to get the truck, because you're gonna need a maintenance account immediately so that you can fix things that the previous owner did not fix. Y'all can go back in time and look at my first videos with Big Daddy and see how terrible this truck was, the condition it was in. And even though I put wear and tear into this truck, there are things that I have to go over that I did to the truck myself, like the flooring and everything. Right now I have like black carpet on my floor, but I'm gonna be showing you guys a lot of the things that I do, like putting into this truck. And shout out to all the Classic XL owners. Like, I'm just loving watching these videos and seeing people with their trucks. But I gotta go, you guys, because my daughter is literally on the potty right now, so I don't want you guys to hear that. But that's some of the quick things that you can go over or consider when buying an old school truck. If you guys have any more questions, definitely leave them in the comment section below, and I will do a part 2 on buying an old school truck. Mwah.